it's truly a good morning, like a true good morning. The hair is speaking for itself, right? Like, yeah, it's a good morning, actually. Anyway, by the way, I'm actually like realizing something that I've discovered, like, about myself. I'm like, okay, I have two sides. Yeah, I have two personalities in me. And it's like it's adding up into something that I've already understood, but I just didn't understand in this way. Like, from a spiritual point of view, I've already like understood that there's there's duality, right? There's opposite um opposite energies. There's like dark and light and stuff like that. But at some point, I was not really, I, I could not relate that with my own personality. Like, I could not take that kind of way of saying and understand it in my personality. Like, okay, I knew it somehow. Yeah, I knew it. I was aware of it, but I feel like I'm in a position, let's just put it this way, where I'm aware now. I can experience it. Like, I'm aware, like, oh, that's my dark side, that's my light side. Do you understand? Yeah, this is exactly where I find myself in now. Like, I'm in a position where I know, okay, now the person who's coming into the forefront is stemming from my dark side. Like, I'm fully aware of that. Whereas I'm reminded, I feel like in the past I was more like, there's one who was dominate the other. Yes, one was dominating the other. Yeah. So yeah, there were like some incidents where the other was just dominating, depending on the mood, depending on what was going on, depending on my biasness, what felt like was right for me, on that sense of for example, if something turns out in a certain way and I feel in some sort of a way, then that dominating energy would be the one that is actually dominating the other energy. Do you understand? If something, I believe in something and it gives me more energy, or that energy is more dominant in my nervous system, then guess what, that's what is going to be dominating in my whole, in my mind, in my thought process, in my narratives, in how I see things and stuff like that. And I wasn't aware of that in this way. I had this information, I knew about it, but I guess I just didn't know how to apply it from a personal standpoint, you know. And today, like, I'm like getting more clarity on it. Like, actually, these two sides that are living within you. You are the whole. You are the whole cell of life. Very interesting. Very interesting. And yeah. Wow. Wow. So, and now I'm in a position, again, something I'm like realizing, these two now, as much as I already downloaded the information, the knowledge behind these two states, that they are coexisting and they work together for the highest good. I understood that on an intellectual level, and I did also understood that on an energetical level. Like, for example, if I get triggered by something, I already know what to do in a case. Like, for example, if I get triggered, I already know that when I'm triggered, that means something about my perception, my old version patterns have been triggered, and the urge is coming on the surface, and I feel the need to act on those based on what I'm feeling, and the feelings are mostly influenced by the old version of self. So, and my way to go will be to regulate my nervous system and hold myself down, witness things, acknowledge, identify, and accept, embrace, be with, feel with, breathe through it, So that is my method. And then I'll just then, by doing that, I'll bring the energy into a harmonized state, okay, whereby I am able to see things with full clarity and understanding of my whereabout in terms of mentally, emotionally, kind of a stuff like that. So I'll do that, and I did understand on an energetical level, emotional part, but now it's like all coming together now, like full on, because now I'm in a position, not just that I know it intellectually, not only that I understand it intellectually, also energetically. There we go, George. Take a break. And not that I understand it on an energetical level, I also understand it on a physical, on the nowness, basically. Like, so it's like they are fully aligned. These three: body, mind, soul. Body, mind, soul. And I am now can tell, like, oh, that is the other personality. And the thing that is being emphasized is the awareness of knowing that they are both serving, so I don't really have to push the other one. Do you understand? Because in the past there was always this competition and comparison and the need to dominate the other side, and now it feels like I got the clear light that there isn't right or wrong about them. They are not at war. Maybe I was trained, I came from a dimension that had beliefs that said the other one is weaker than the other, or the other one is more superior, or the other one is inferior, the other one is bad, the other one is good. So that kind of education kind of like, dominated my way of seeing, my lenses. And so I projected it to myself, to these two dimensions. So I had a lot of biasness to it. So that's one thing that I'm understanding. And now I've come to this position. It's funny because I got this understanding for a long time, I think. Like to grasp it, I feel like I was initiated to it 6-7 years ago, or even more, God knows. But I feel like, if I remember very well, 6 years ago, there was a time I had some kind of understanding, like awakening to this kind of information, like, oh, there is the higher self. Like, I am not the body, I'm not the thoughts, I'm not the feelings, I'm not the sensation, I'm not this, I'm not that. That's I think it's the same time when I got initiated to holding space for my own energy, breathing and feeling things. You call it meditation, right? Around that time, that's when I was very like supercharged, when I actually discovered the state of neutrality, the state of openness and receptivity to life as it is, that is neither for nor against anything. And at that time, I'm telling you, as much I was charged up and very excited for these news that I've discovered, at the same time I was like, I was, what is the word? I was feeling some kind of, I was shattered some way, because now my world was gonna go away and I didn't know what I'm gonna be without that world that I've actually lived in for a long time. I was like, what's gonna be the next chapter like, living in the state of neutrality? What is neutrality going to? Because I could not imagine myself, living in the state of unity and harmony from within and oneness, and I didn't even understand what it all entailed. So I felt really kind of like, I don't know, really bummed out. As much there was two sides. I think part of me was like, yay, I discovered something amazing, something, I'm a genius. I just, I was like all in cloud nine and shooting out my lungs out, like, whoa. That's when the spirituality really got jacked in my body, in my vibration, like, spirituality, here we go. Do you understand? I was like super excited. That's when I shocked everyone. I shocked myself. Forget about everybody else. I shocked myself, but it was somehow came with ease and grace, because it was not forced. It just it went step by step. You know how, life really has its own way of doing things, so it doesn't really force things. So it came very steady, easy, go, like very steady. It was not forced. So it was amazing, and I was like, wow. But I could also feel the other side of me that was like, we don't know. Yeah, I was bummed. But anyway, but today it's amazing to finally like see it, feel it, sense it, know it, live it. Wow, live it. So this is the part. So I am living it now, to live in harmony with my own energies, to live in unity, to come and live in the state of being synchronized to life, where you do not experience the fight about any way of expression about yourself. And yeah, let's begin with yourself, because it begins there. Like, you are not constantly judging. You understand that this part and parcel of being in a human form, that sometimes you're going to feel in a certain way, sometimes you're going to feel in a certain way, and you are not obliged to feel always in the same way. Jesus Christ, my God, I wish my kids can have this information. In a case, even not just my kids, people, imagine if you're a child and you were taught like that it's okay to have a variation of emotions. But anyway, I did tell my kids, I don't want to lie, I did teach, I gave them the basics, like, you are loved regardless, no matter what the world says about you, no matter what you think, mommy loves you. You understand? So that I gave to my kids, and I also taught them about emotions, in a sense that in emotions they change, but they're also playing a good part in our lives. So there is not there's no emotion that is wrong or right. There's no emotion that is bad, but it's how we choose to see it. So I did teach my kids before I left, even from the beginning, because by that time I had a big inclination when it comes to emotional intelligence and being vulnerable and holding space and getting to know ourselves on a deeper level. So I'll actually meditate with my kids. I used to meditate with them and sit them and also teach them some techniques, some similar techniques on how to have some kind of presence into their own sense of being. Yeah. So I'm happy that I gave them that. I gave them that part of legacy from my side for now, So yeah, and today I'm like, I know there's two personalities in me. There's the dark side, there's a light side, and even though there's dark light, they are equal, but they don't serve the same energy vibration. hence we feel the energies from within you, but in the end, above all else, they are serving within the whole spectrum of being. So humanity is serving, to life. Not just even humanity. Let's just go straight to say duality is serving. Do you understand? Duality is serving a huge part in life. So it's necessary, and it's part and parcel of life. And to finally being able to relate your own personality in regards to those terms of duality and stuff like that, that is powerful. That for me, that is like it yeah, it does something. It brings me here now, like, yeah, it's okay to be human. It's okay to feel emotion. It's okay to hold a space for fear, and at the same time be in the state of fear, feel everything, and then be able to clarify your mind and take charge of your life. Do you understand? Because I think part of me didn't want to experience fear, so didn't want to hold space for fear, let's just say that, because the fear came with a lot of dense energy, so it will kind of like disturb my nervous system. My nervous system wasn't very strong to hold space for that, so I felt like it's much better not to feel, to hold space for fear, but hold space for light things, hold space for happiness, for joy, but then happiness, joy, contentness does not come only from light things. Dark energy actually intensifies the energy of joy. So dark energy has a role to play. Do you understand? So I had to understand that the need to run away from dark energy just because of the limited belief system that I got from my background. It's actually self-sabotaging. It's actually destroying. It's just not really building me up to grow, to progress as a soul, as a person. I need both energies. I need to understand them. I need to see them. I need to know how they come about. I need to also accept them. It's part of my making. It's part of reality. It's part of light. So today, it's that day where where I am fully aboard within this body, within this mind, within this nervous system, where both energies are welcomed. Both sides of me are welcomed. Because I know, my friend, I used to live in denial of the other one, constantly dismissing the other side. Religion will tell you this is wrong, that is wrong. I'm not blaming, but that was a makeup of my mindset and way of seeing in life. So there was just not just religion, even the culture that I came from, the society, they always have their own thing. It's not just, let me just not blame on religion. The culture already has it. It's actually, it stems from a duality state. It has its own biasnesses and preferences, which is to be honest, you just come to realize everything has like two sides and stuff like that, and that's okay. Because now we know that duality plays a part. So it's by nature, the life it's supposed to be like that, when you are still living in that world. And now you are now in this presence of unity. You are now here because you've seen your dimension, that the dimension that stems from duality. That's one thing I understood as well. There is no way you can come to this side of neutrality without first holding space for duality itself, for recognizing duality itself, for learning about duality's laws, and for understanding on a deeper level what is duality and how it comes to be. There's no way you're going to come to the sense of unified energy of these two energies without first holding space for them separately in understanding them. So that's another thing that I've understood. So unity is it's a next chapter. Once you've mastered or you've learned the lessons that comes with duality, once you learn that chapter of duality, then you can move to unity. You can't jump duality into unity. Do you understand? So so that's where I am right now. I'm already being initiated. I felt yesterday, like I felt I ate. I actually posted a video saying the shapeshifter has been fooled, because whatever tricks the shapeshifter is been pulling around your eyes and confusion and stuff can no longer trigger you anymore, because you see right through the illusions. You see right through things. And you've actually, because you have actually elevated to the state of unity and harmonious and higher consciousness, which gives you the ability to to see life from a stable standpoint, a synchronized standpoint, a state that is neither for nor against anything, but read energies for what it is and then act accordingly in oneness. Okay, in oneness, in what do you call, in alignment. Yes, in full alignment. Okay, it's not, the energy is not easily moved or shaken, or does it waver or cut off. The energy is like plugged in now to the source. You are operating directly from the source, connected to the source. It's not like you are biased, you are this for this side, or you're for that, or you don't like this, you don't want that. You are, do you understand? You are connected to source, and source is influencing you, and you are creating straight from the source. So basically that's what I'm getting. And yeah, that's where we are now. That's where we are.